Hello and welcome once again to Doom Eternal and to the Fortress of
It is the
Doom.
Maker's homeworld. It is not accessible to anyone. Do you require anything else before we begin our journey further? You will not be able to return until the mission is complete.
As good old Sammy Boy there has just informed us, now is sort of the last call for bonuses here. And this is kind of the jumping off point to the last third of the game. So if there's anything we want to do, now is the time. Of course, this is the one of the primary things you might want to get. Enjoy this nifty animation where we get our brand new super weapon.
Beyond Maker. Pure Maker technology. Inspired by Sentinel weaponry and refined by their divine intellect. Its destructive potential is staggering.
Opinions vary on this. By and large, I think people prefer the BFG, so for people doing Ultra Nightmare runs, not aiming for, 100%, they will often choose to skip some of the Slayer gates, simply because they don't think it's really ultimately worth it for the reward. There's a lot of risk in doing those gates. It's really easy to die, so... Now particularly, there's a few key ones that are harder than others, so many people will just avoid it altogether and say, it's cool, I don't need the Unmaker. So this is just a cosmetic bonus you can unlock. Doesn't do anything over the standard stuff, but it'll give you something else to play around with to make your particular Doomslayer look cool. One of the fun things with all the custom armors and such is that they do show up in cutscenes, so any of the funny armors that you get can make the game look a little more ridiculous and lean into that lighthearted stuff. I particularly enjoy the bizarre unicorn skin that they did on one of their like timed battle pass sort of things. And all that stuff is free, so definitely take advantage, and it unlocks whether you're playing single or multiplayer. So we get the Praetor suit, a la 2016. And of course this is how you're sort of supposed to get this secret, I guess. But we already got it, so down we go. And I think that is about it. I don't think there's anything else of note that we have to do here. So we'll say goodbye to Sammy and be on our way. Don't really have any points to spend here, so... I think I do at some point opt to change my skin on the chain gun. So unfortunately, I had yet another recording issue. I know, it seems like I've had a million of them. The problem was with my recording software and an update that apparently did not quite work properly. So my first recording, which did not go far in, thankfully, I had to restart. So what you're actually seeing is me restarting the mission. So the opening is slightly different, even though I'm continuing with no progress. Samuel normally talks to you a little bit first, and honestly this opening bit is slightly different. The enemies are kind of occupied, whereas once you restart they just come right for you. So on a first play this will be a little more relaxed. You'll have a second to kill a couple of trash enemies and gear up to these bigger dudes. So I'll head this way first to grab ourselves a sentinel crystal. Take the armor there. So these health for blood and health for armor are just another way to quickly charge your blood punch. So if you're at max, those pickups will contribute to charging that. It's not a bad thing to have. It just means you'll have blood punch up a little more often. I'll head up here. Whoopsie daisy. There's hot fire. Little side room with a couple guys. Pinky, a carcass, and a prowler. Grab our goodies and be on our way. Stay on the upper level here to grab this codex entry and some armor if you need it. And I'll try to do this without the quad damage pickup. Tyrant here is the initial concern, but you have to make sure you watch out for the faster enemies. Sidewinder and Cacodemon in particular can sneak up on you. And we've got a Cyber Mancubus to deal with as well. Charge up our stack a little. There are a few other things to pick up here, including a secret. But you have to actually open this first, I believe.
Here the humans arrive from Earth, waiting to be selected for the process.
If you don't open that first, there will be a gate in front of this and you can't get to it, so... Make sure you round up any leftover pickups just to keep yourself topped off. And you don't have enough time to actually make use of this quad damage down here if you didn't use it in that fight. It does make that fight considerably easier. I don't know why I got myself stuck in this corner. This really was not smart. I'm lucky I made it out of there alive. Stack back up again. And there's a simple traversal puzzle here. Which I remembered how to do, but I couldn't remember where I was supposed to go. So I kind of screwed that up. And where you're supposed to go is right next to this platform on this cage here.
The Khan Maker needs Earth and its souls. Her world is dying. The culling allows her people to replenish their resources and survive. If you save your world, you put hers in peril. Up ahead is Kaladas, the sightless judge. It determines who's fit to begin the soul extraction process. The rest will be discarded to the blood swamps.
So this boss fight, I guess you could call it that, up here, is not super hard, but it's not easy either. It's, depending on your skill set, you'll probably find it harder or easier. You have to stay mobile. I mean, that's sort of the case for everything, but the floor, after you shoot the first of these eyes, which any sort of distance attacks will do. I'm continually missing here, but after the first one, these pads start to go up and down. And after the second, then pain elementals start to appear. You can go on these side things, but there is fire, which hurts quite a lot. That'll actually drop a lot of your stack. It seems like after killing those two, they stop spawning, so I kind of thought that they just continually spawned, but it may not be the case. Or there may be a little bit of a timer that gives you some forgiveness, I'm not sure. Missed.
The shield is lowered. Now, while it's exposed.
And once you do that, all you have to do is run up here and punch the giant brain in the brain. It's interesting, they've shown some concept art of what the sightless judge was supposed to be. And it seemed a lot more interesting than what it ended up being, which is really just a giant brain. So double check and see if we missed anything, but everything is ahead of us. This is a shorter map, aside from any time you lose to having to retry sections or that sort of thing. It's on the shorter side compared to most. I think our video here will probably clock in at about a half hour. So you have these little buttons that you can shoot to smash dudes, and that is one of your challenges for this level. Particularly useful, obviously, against the more powerful enemies. Got a prowler there. You don't actually have to get very many for the challenge either, so if you're finding that annoying or difficult to do, you don't actually have to do it that much to get the challenge over with. And somehow I utterly missed the mastery token that's in that room. It's not even hidden, it's just lying there. And somehow I missed it. We'll go back and get that before we exit the level. It looks like you're supposed to get there through here, but that is not the case. I couldn't remember how you did it, since I don't remember this level particularly well. I just remember that that wasn't how you do it. There's another path that opens up later. This is a reasonably tough fight here. Doesn't start off too bad, but it ramps up pretty quickly. The whiplash is of primary concern in this first bit. Take out the carcass as well. And then we have a Caco Demon that needs to be dealt with, in addition to a Hell Knight and a few other friends. That was supposed to be a sticky bomb, and kind of messed that up a little. Cyber Mancubus also spawns. He's usually pretty easy to get into the trap for a squish. And then in the final here, we have to deal with this Archvile. So as for the usual, it's always a good idea to just throw everything you have at them. Re-up some of our stack. Resupply a little bit. And of course, if you need to, there is some BFG ammo in this room. So if you're at full, it's an easy thing to just pop off a shot when things are really hectic. And then you can get back up to your full ammo right afterward. A few little hidden armor bits to grab here. And then it's time to do a little jumping. I was a bit confused because I saw that mastery token on my map and was like, wait, did I screw that up? And since I couldn't see it because it's behind a wall, I was thinking maybe I had to jump over to it, and it was like, wait a minute, it's not there. But then, in the process, I remembered that this is here. Which is actually a pretty decently hidden little secret. Get our gladiator toy. Open up that shortcut. And then we have probably one of the easiest secret encounters in the game. Got this dude here. And then it's just a simple hallway fight with this Hell Knight. Just real simple. Go back around here. Put us into a small hallway fight. Extra life around the bend, back the way we came. And then we have a small traversal puzzle here. Well, not really a puzzle, just a little obstacle course.
The humans must be tortured, the flesh tenderized. Once enough pain has been inflicted and the spirit broken, the soul is ready for the extraction process.
Just fried those guys up, as Samuel explains how the hellish sausage is made. Just double checking to make sure there wasn't actually somewhere you could go up there, and there is not. Have to go through these meat grinders here. So now we have another buff totem. You really just want to prioritize making your way up here. You can hear how fast those arachnotrons fire. It's really fast. And you can use a BFG shot there if you're struggling to get up to the ledge in time. And it's a lot more manageable once you've dealt with the totem. couldn't remember exactly what the order of events was here. There's of course this obvious green glow that kind of guides you there, and these guys have candles on them, which guides you toward being able to use that and open the way. If you do this sort of the manual way, you can see those spikes there will take quite a bit off your stack, actually. So we gotta open this other bit. Now these are going, we can get through there. But surprise, it's a marauder. Who, by this point, was probably a lot less of a problem. And really, you just have to watch out for that whiplash. And I'm still not entirely sure what happened there. I guess I got clipped by the whiplash and then took a side swipe from the marauder, I guess. I thought that my ice bomb was going to do the trick, and it didn't. So you can jump down there real quick between the boxes, the little crates here full of people. And then ride another one back up after you get your secret. And we're already close to the end. There's not much left to do here. I really was having trouble remembering what you were supposed to do there, but I think the door opens at some point. I'm not sure what actually triggers that to open, but you can just go in through the other side. And there's also this, which I had completely forgotten about, which gives us another mastery token. So you can spend that on whatever you like. I realized I was not very far down the Arachnotron track here, so I just said, screw it, I'll take the token. Kinda forgot about the meat grinder, though. Get ourselves another album. Pretty well out of ammo here, but this secret encounter is also not difficult. I think it's really just expecting you to find where the next enemy is for the most part, and then this guy. And thankfully I had enough rockets to make reasonably short work of him. And I'm pretty sure those zombies were part of it. But I wasn't actually entirely sure where he spawned from, so your guess is as good as mine. I was trying to remember where that mastery token was. It's like, oh, you know, this is maybe farther back than I thought it was. So I figured I'd just see if I can quickly get down here, and failing that, it's like, well, I'll just make use of the fast travel. This is what it's there for, after all. So there's another BFG shot there. They really give you plenty of that, so if you feel compelled to use it, go for it. The reason you sometimes see me just running around with an empty shotgun is because I want to use the meat hook. So otherwise that would not really be a terribly smart idea, but get a couple of these guys grouped up, do a little damage. Didn't have my blood punch for the cyber-incubus, but that's okay. Take care of this carcass. And now's where the fun starts. You get 2 Doom Hunters. So hopefully by this point, Doom Hunters aren't the worst for you. And you can obviously soften them up to some degree using a BFG blast. Although I don't remember what the over-under is on the how that affects their shields and all that. Use a blood punch, get a rail, and try to finish them off, but oops, I'm out of ammo. Kind of in a bad way here. Thankfully there's 2 big health packs at the end, in addition to some armor behind the statue of Olivia from from 2016. And of course you've always got this at your disposal, so it's easy to make quick work of him. And I believe you could also use it to just quickly finish off one of those guys once their shields are down. One of the challenges for this level is to get a left side glory kill on them, as you can see there, and I only have one more opportunity to do it. Spoiler alert, I do not. And so I just opted to kill a normal enemy just to get that other crucible kill for the challenge. I wanted to see if doing that would like knock his shields or something. It doesn't. Gotta do that the old-fashioned way. So I get my stack back up with a couple of grenades. Bring him down. Do a nice blast. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't kill him outright, but I got him into glory kill state so I could try for the... But I was too far behind. I think that's a... from the back glory kill.
Only when the human is lost all will it transfer to the soul extraction chamber.
So there is old Olivia hanging out. She dead now, but at least she will be well remembered, I guess. It's a bonus 1-up in the corner here. She can get before the fight if you need. And then we've got these pair of meat grinders with some flames in between. And I took the brunt of that, but grab our soup point here, and I believe I now have enough to simply finish off the soup. We'll knock her down and make use of fast travel to get that last mastery point that we missed. Really was just right there. Not quite sure how I missed that, but that's okay. So use a few weapon points to finish that off and just unlock the challenge using the token. And by this point, I couldn't even remember what I hadn't purchased yet. Of course, micro missiles I hadn't done yet since I never use them. Same with full auto, to be quite honest. I don't know why I decided that the destroyer blade, which I also don't use, was the thing to get, but whatever. So now we can just finish off the suit. We got one more point than we even need. And now we have ourselves a fully upgraded suit. And it occurred to me that since I had swapped over from the other play that I was doing for the map issue that we had earlier so that I could re-record, I decided to go back to that equipment mod rune that I was using there. And that's it. That is all she wrote. Just head on through the hole and you're done. So with that, we will call it here, and we will move on to the next map in the next episode. We're coming up on the end of the game here, so we're making some progress. Let me know if there's anything else you guys feel a burning need to know, but otherwise I will see you guys next time.